Oh my god, she's a weirdo.
'Tis I, fat cow. I'm not going to respond to the entire life because, you know, I have a will to live. And I'm not going to wait for other people's cut downs because there's only one little section I actually want to talk about. Plus, I've got 10 more bags to do by the weekend, and quite frankly, literally watching the paint dry on my bags is more interesting than foodie. Now, I want you to keep in mind what I said a few videos ago when I stated that, in my opinion, I strongly believe what we are seeing is the embryotic start of a mental breakdown. And just keep that in the back of your mind when watching this clip. Additionally, I want you to keep in mind that, in my opinion, she has undiagnosed oppositional defiant disorder, which means obviously defiance when she doesn't get her way, and histrionic personality disorder, which is extreme attention seeking, particularly in a sexualized way or using your body. And with those things in mind, let's get on with it. Ta-da! That creature in Stories to Tell in the Dark, the Red Room, the resemblance is uncanny. I'll add a photo during editing. I believe I've gotten to the wrong bit. So, try again. I knew it doing it like this. I mean, it was a good reveal too, but it's not the original reveal. I think it's funny, well, not funny, ha, that she hasn't made the connection that when she's not there, the cat plays and comes out, with the obvious. I will get the hang of this, I hope.
I feel like a bad.
You have to take into consideration, and that although you don't know this now, if you were watching this live, what she's doing is getting undressed and putting on a wig. The breathing, the heavy breathing involved with this task should scare the ever-loving shit out of her. Ta-da! Again. Pulpy's reaction when this came up was joyous. Joyous. If you're going to watch this in not its entirety, but a more significant chunk of this, I highly recommend Pulpy's. Not necessarily anything that's before this, because she wasn't particularly interesting, but this part until he gives up momentum Pulpy's reaction is worth it. Her expression, was, so that's me looking at herself, but then you can see her lips start to curl up because she's a bit, because what she's doing currently now is deliberately and defiantly, ODD, pissing Salah off for whatever reason he's currently doing. Now, I suspect, as everybody else does, he's just not as contactable as she wants him to be. But also, there's kind of other suggestions of other things going on with Salah that I will point out as they are raised. Sorry about that. My hip really, really hurts in a way that I have not experienced before. It's sciatica. I get sciatica a fair few times a year, but this is sciatica plus, and needless to say, I'm not particularly chuffed with it. It means sitting up is not easy, and it also means driving's not easy. But when it comes to lying down, I'm an absolute pro.
Breathing is concerning.
The defiance to our audience. My breathing is concerning. Huge inhale of the vape while staring at the camera. She's just given a fuck you to her audience. Momentarily there, she looked like Trump facially. Currently, I give her 6 months tops before we have a hospital bees of significant seriousness. Yeah.
Hey, Lauren. My wig? I don't think I'm going to have a P.O. box because they cost money. But I have a fundraiser on PayPal for house stuff and for my mostly scooter.
The rental car goes back today. So what we've seen thus far has been with the ability to go outside. So now we're going to enter a period of Foodie stuck in the house, but not voluntarily. I mean, she doesn't go out that often anyway, but the fact she can't go out will make her level of aggravation go up a couple of notches. And she mentions the scooter a lot of times during this live because without the scooter she's stuck and she's just not willing to pay for it out of pocket, and she's frightened that if she does buy it out of her own money, people won't reimburse her afterwards. So given the option between being confined to her new house without any choice of going out at all, to just swallowing her pride and buying the scooter so she has some degree of independence, she'd rather the confinement. Is also very, very telling of how unwilling she is to walk anywhere or even take a taxi.
The scooter's not going to be 3,000, so I think it's like 1,600.
So even though she's asking for 3,500, guys, the scooter's only half that price. So surely, guys, you can give me the money for that. Now, it's been pointed out on Twitter that the first time she asked for money for relocation while she was in Syria, she got quite a bit. And then it started to dwindle somewhat. And instead of getting hundreds of dollars, she got tens of dollars. And now she's getting $5 donations. So people are no longer listening to her in terms of needing the money. They've realised, I hope they've realised and cottoned on. I think getting a $300 cat could have been the final nail in the coffin in terms of donations, which means she can't afford to live where she's living, eat how she eats, and do anything else from here on in, unless she makes a lot of money during November and December, which is the most lucrative times of the year for AdSense. However, that also means she's going to be live more often than not to get the ads. Also, she's let it drop that her sofa's on the way and she still hasn't squashed the box for her new TV. So she's getting the luxury she wants while still asking for money. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, Carly Steele's hair. She has beautiful hair. Oh my god. I'm so jealous of her hair. No, because the wish list doesn't work out. Because the haters put all the stuff in the cart or something.
She doesn't want people buying the actual items she needs because she wants to decide what she spends the donation money on. If she had a wish list, which granted she does make a point with what's said, but even if the wish list worked and somebody bought her the Ninja Fryer, for example, that means she's got a Ninja Fryer but no cash to spend on food or weed. She's got what she wanted, but she probably would have bought one for less money and spent the rest had the donation been made. She wants cash, not the things she says she needs. She wants cash, and she wants cash for weed and food, nothing else.
No, I'm not naked. I hate this wig. I'd rather just be bald, honestly, than deal with wigs. They're so annoying.
And this is the content the reaction channels are stealing. No wonder we do this. I mean, it's too good not to share.
Cute. I'm not. I have this thing on. Modesty. Yeah, I know. I would be considered the biggest skank of all time. Look at my hair.
The way she's currently presented herself, while not being seen favourably by people Foodie has previously spent time with not that long ago, let's say, for diplomacy's sakes, and they would be shocked. It wouldn't go as far as considering her a skank. While the appearance is one thing, it's the behaviour that gets judged. And thus far, what she's done isn't nearly as scandalous as she thinks. She knows Salah should be furious at this. But I'm beginning to get the suspicion that despite the fact they both have a plan, Salah might be realising, despite the time and effort he's put into this scam, that it really isn't worth it with this particular individual.
Just for dressing like this, even though I don't ever talk to men.
Now, the way she emphasised the ever implies one of two things. Either Salah has accused her of talking to other men, which I don't think she would, as long as she thinks Salah is still with her, or she thinks Salah is talking to other women, which is entirely more likely.
At all. It's better off for me to be alone. No one to criticize me, how I look. Nothing.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? No one to criticise me, how I look, which means, you know, how she was previously, after, post hijabi, but pre whatever the fuck this is. And him telling her probably to present yourself better, make more of an effort, has been responded to with this. You want me to act more modest? Well, fuck you. Sorry.
That I have chin hair. Or that I look weird.
How I look, that I have chin hair, or that I look weird. Yeah, we know exactly what kind of conversations have occurred since yesterday, early, or the day before yesterday, when Foodie was saying that they broke up because they had to, not because they wanted to, and they still love each other, and who knows what's going to happen in the future. I mean, to have overheard that conversation would have been something momentous.
The wig looks nice. Two choppies! The smell?
She's also not trying to hide the vaping, and she's blowing the smoke directly into the camera. So that probably came up in conversation also.
Make someone jealous? No.
Yes.
Pete's has P.O. Box?
Jealous. Very. Devastatingly jealous, in fact.
Pluck your eyebrows. That's true.
Yeah, she's had enough criticism about her appearance from Salah. She doesn't want it from people in her chat either. Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. But this is not the way to go about it in response. You don't have to go completely in the opposite direction. You can just carry on doing what you were doing and not change. This defiance of foodies, which she cannot control currently. I mean, if she had therapy, she would be able to. But this defiance is one of the things that destroys everything for her the most.
Edibles. I don't like.
The decline in her health in the last 2 weeks that she has been here is noticeable. And the fact it's noticeable means, I'd say in the last 2 weeks, she's probably gained 5-10 kilos, probably, in order for her breathing to get that much worse. But in addition, she's probably chain smoking vapes when she's at home. Now bear in mind, vapes are allegedly produce just water when you exhale. I'm not convinced. Vapes are already shown to be incredibly dangerous health-wise. But she's also sharing her space with another breathing, tiny living thing.
Sitting in here. This is my bedding. Order Luckma? Ew.
So everybody in the chat has kind of figured out she's annoyed with Salah. And then someone suggests she orders some Middle Eastern food. Now, if that's not trolling, I don't know what is.
I'm not craving Luckma. Sorry. Where's my cat?
Luckma is Middle Eastern, isn't it? I'll have to Google it.
Where's my cat? Where's my...
To be honest, if something that was 100 times the size of me was shouting in that voice, I'd be hiding too.
Where's my stand?
Someone in Twitter found the photo that this avatar was taken from, and I believe it was an OnlyFans photo. Fully dressed, but just, the avatar for OnlyFans, possibly, or was taken during the OnlyFans time, but was like a photo shoot for said website.
Oh, hold on, guys. Where did I put it? Where did I put it?
It's like, I'd imagine, living with Foodie is like living with an asthmatic Yeti that's been out in the rain, so it's damp and smells like a wet dog times 20, combined with the flatulence of a bull and the slobber of an English bulldog. Yes, I'm totally stealing her content because, quite frankly, I can't do any better.
Sweetheart! Sweetheart!
I can feel my eyebrows doing things in response to this audio.
Coming, guys. Omega.
The drugs are kicking in. Consequently, I doubt there's going to be much more said that's worth commenting on. From what I've seen, she gets slower, like a toy that's been wound up and left to, do its thing, and it's running down. Which is a good metaphor, the running down, for her current health decline also. And the thing is, there's nobody around now to wind it back up. And when it stops, it's going to stop. So there we have it. The embryotic stage of the mental breakdown that I believe Foodie is going to have is now currently at the almost fetus stage. I'm going to have to run with this analogy. I'm sorry, I said embryotic when I first suggested it, and I've got to run with it. We'll either see more of this but multiplied because Salah's not playing ball, or tomorrow we could have hijabi Foodie because Salah has come crawling back because his piggy bank went rogue.